Haha.
Good evening, everybody. Ping pong. Welcome to another Friday night stream. This I don't even know how to start anymore because not only is this not my usual segment, like I haven't done a talking stream in months. But there was news this last month, and I just had to arrange this chat with a good friend of mine here right now with me. Pochi, say hi to everybody, Pochi.
Hello everyone! สวัสดีครับ Actually, it's like this is the second time that we
Yes.
have like the podcast in English.
Yes.
So please apologize beforehand for my broken English. Okay,
Yes.
Okay, but สวัสดีครับ everyone. สวัสดีครับ สวัสดีครับ สวัสดีครับ
Sawadee krab. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I don't have to I don't have to explain right that what the สวัสดี mean.
I don't think we need to do that much. But I think you do need to explain what's in your hand.
It's inhaler. You remember the e-sport athlete, right? That sometimes they doing like the green thingy in their hand and they sniff. This one is Hong Thai, which is one of the most famous inhaler in Thailand.
That is
and
fantastic.
so basically when foreigner overseas coming to Thailand, they buy this one and sniff. I said like this one, just one sniff, clear your nose, your mind, and your soul.
All right. So in case it's not obvious enough for those who have never joined me before, Pochi here is Thai. And he's joined me here tonight, and we're going to be talking about like the recent news about gamescom going over to Thailand and merging together with Thailand Game Show, right? So the news just happened about a few weeks back, and I had a lot of questions, and I was like reaching out to Pochi here and said, hey, I think this can be fun to just like talk about like on stream. And I haven't done a talkie in a very long time. So I said, hey, why don't we do this together? And like, you can do your second English podcast too.
I'm trying at least. Okay, but because when this news is like released, many people like, I don't know, because since I know the gamescom, I have the friend like you and many Singaporean friends and like overseas friends. So basically it's like I can reach to every side comment, like from Thailand what they said, and in Singapore what they said, and it's become like, hey, Singapore Kung, your games come with us right now. It's like NTR moment somehow, because I remember they said like they're supposed to have like the Singapore Tekken or anything something tournament, right? In Gamecom, but in now Gamecom in Thailand, so they're going to change the name from Singapore to Thailand, or they're going to change from Singapore to Asia or anything.
Right. So there's a lot to talk about on that angle, because I have a lot of questions. I've not had a chance to reach out to some of my friends in the local fighting game competition scene and all that, and ask them like, hey, what's going to happen to the Singapore League? And like, because I remember Gamescom last year in particular, they had this whole thing where the competition, if you win the competition, it adds to your score, your qualifying score for like the big competitions in Japan. So there was a lot of people coming here to play simply because of that, right? So now the question now is that going to be the same here when you go over to TGS and all that? But I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. I want to give us a little bit of background first before we get too deep into the topic itself. So for those who don't know, if you've never seen me talk about like events here or like my background with events, my name is Jared, aka Bimji. This is my channel. I've been doing this. I've been in the event scene for about like 15, 20 years at this point. The topic of this chat, we literally call it Otaku. Thank you very much, Pochi, for giving me the title for the title and the term. Because we're what, like late 30s at this point.
We still young at heart. We are like free range. We elf. We been there 3,000 years ago when something that about to start.
Yes, exactly. So we've been around for a very long time. We've been watching the scene for a very long time, and we've been part of it a very long time. Especially for people who don't know Pochi here, and we'll get into why this might be the case. But Pochi here is one of the top 10. Is it top 5, top 10? Is it at this point?
What do you mean top 5, top 10?
Thai streamers now at this point?
No. I'm just like, I don't know. I think I'm still very small. Really? Look at subscribe. Not yet 100,000 yet. Just very small, but okay. At least
I've seen the rankings, and you are definitely ranked in the top 10s, I think. Are you not ranked in the top 10s?
No.
Am I seeing wrong rankings?
What ranking? What ranking you shaking? What is it? And how come you drink the coffee with that big cup?
I do. I just do. I at some point in my life, I drank so much coffee that I got very lazy of making cups and cups. So I make mugs of it instead. So like when I make it, it's about like this tall. So yeah.
But it doesn't look like a mug for coffee. It looks like a mug that you
or instant noodles, right?
Use for for instant noodles.
Right? That's what everyone tells me. They tell me that this is actually not a mug. This is a bowl with a handle.
See. So, but I don't know. Okay, let's say I'm not sure which ranking you're checking, but thank you to put me like on the top 10 of something, yes. Which I don't know.
Okay, now more legit. The more verifiable information is that Pochi is a MC and a fairly popular presenter over in Thailand. He has his own fan base. I really don't know what a number count is, but like I've personally seen people go up to him and ask him for photos and autographs. So that's a thing. I just want to vouch for that much.
To be precise, I would say one of the people who working in this industry for more than 20 years. That's all. We at the point, but we are not the one that, like myself, I'm not the one that who's the leader to tell to start something. I'm just like one of the like people who was there and helping put the first brick on the castle, something like that.
Exactly. We were soldiers on the field. I think is right.
We soldiers.
We're not the generals. We're not the ministers. We're not the kings and queens and bishops and all that. But we were soldiers on the field. Right?
We're just a peasant.
We're definitely not low enough. Like we're not like that far disconnected to the point that we're peasants. But we're definitely there doing stuff for events, and we're part of it, and in our own small ways, right? So So that much we're soldiers we're boots on the field. We were there when things were happening, and we've been around for a lot of those happenings. Now, so also full disclosure, it's worth noting that Pochi is or was the MC for Thailand Game Show in 2024. We don't know whether that's going to be the case this coming year as well.
To be honest, this year, hopefully, they're still hiring me.
Yep. Okay. And I myself am somewhat friendly with the organizers of Gamescom over here in Gamescom Asia over here in Singapore. And I was at the event last year in particular, both for the business days as well as the consumer days. So that is actually basically what we're going to be talking a little bit about. We're going to talk a little bit about today the history of the events that we've been through, and more notably, because this is an English podcast, you'll give those who have never been to Thailand, especially those who've never seen Thailand Game Show, a chance to hear from someone who's seen the entire Thai scene, and hear the stories about like the scene over in Thailand from at least someone who's been through it, you know? So that's what we're going to be doing today. Right?
Which one you want to start first, the Gamecom or Thailand Game Show?
I think let's start from Thailand Game Show first, because let's start chronologically. Because I think we were exchanging notes just before the show. And, and by the way, if anyone has questions, please feel free to like just drop them in the comments, or there's a link, the Google link underneath there with a Google form. If you want, you can just drop a question. I will share them with Pochi here. We will start talking about it somewhere in between. I get a chance, I'll start, addressing some of your questions. Pochi is also live streaming on his channel as well. I believe I have it linked inside the description below. So please go check him out if you can. But anyways, yeah. So let's do Pochi, let's do this chronologically. So I think when we were exchanging notes earlier, we were
yes.
I think you mentioned the story of at least the Thai game shows started in 2005, I believe. You mentioned
2000, right? Yeah. It's before, actually when we talking about the game event in Thailand, before Thailand Game Show, there's like another event,
right?
Like the one that I was like there. I'm there for to do as a staff. I work with the company is called Future Gamer. Okay, I send you on the on your Facebook.
Yep. Give me a short while. Let me see whether I can find a good chance to show it. I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Sorry, this might take a second for me on my side, but so Pochi, please continue your story first, because on my side, I made a small little silly mistake.
Okay. Sorry. Because of the like the event before is came from the magazine,
right?
Which over there is the what we call Future Gamer. And the thing that happened on that time is like, it's not just only this event. There's actually many events that having the, Okay, let me show on my side too. This is the picture of the event that on 2006, but I think the time they start is actually 2004, if I'm not wrong. And also the first time that I go on the stage, also on the 2004 too, as an MC for the event. And there's and how should I put this? And after that is like here and there they have like the event like before Thailand Game Show is from Future Gamer. Then they have the event from the government called TAM, which I'm not sure that people nowadays still recognize it or not. Is the Thailand Animation and Multimedia Festival, something like that.
All right. So let me just get this timeline a little bit correct, because if I'm hearing you correctly, so you're saying that basically, I have the picture up on right now. So starting in 2005, the Thailand's like game events started with this game event called FG Party by Future Gamer. Is that correct?
I think to be honest, I'm not sure that this is the first event for the gaming or not, but one of the first. I cannot claim it, but I think one of the first. But then there are another event came from government. This one from government is called TAM. The you saw the picture with the chicken mascot, right?
Give me a second. Let me just bring it up on screen also as well. So guys, sorry, this is gonna look super like ugly because this is better. Like, okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. The chicken. I'm not saying the chicken is ugly, mind you. I'm saying that my presentation of it is ugly on screen. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, because of the this sorry. The chicken one is the government event. It's supposed to be like the animation and multimedia, but because when we say it's multimedia, so they have like the gaming companies also there, like the one that bringing like the game publisher.
Right.
And on that time, because nobody doing like the proper game event,
Right.
the future gamer doing the game event, but because they are like the magazine, they are the media on that time. They are one of the biggest media for gaming in Thailand. So they start their own event. They have camp. Then people might asking like, because the Tokyo Game Show. Tokyo Game Show is like they're using the city base, then game show, right? How about in Thailand? Do they have the Bangkok Game Show, or why is Thailand Game Show? Because Bangkok Game Show happened before Thailand Game Show.
Oh,
This one is not many people know about this event because it's okay on that time it's not that big for the event. The BGS Bangkok Game Show 2005.
oh,
Yeah, which it's very long time ago. Remember on that time it's like when we're talking about the esport thing.
right.
Nowadays, like if you won the like your country series or like number one in your countries, you earn a lot of money, right?
Right.
But on that time, BGS 2005, I remember they have like the competition and the winner, if I'm not wrong, is the Counter Strike 5 people or 6 people. I'm not sure. But the winner get only like just one PC.
So the whole team has to
For the
share
whole
one
team.
PC as a
Yeah.
prize.
Yes.
So it's like what? You take the monitor, I take the CPU, you take the keyboard. And
Yes,
go.
if I'm not wrong, they didn't give you monitor. They just give you the PC.
So it's just the
like
CPU itself.
you take the CPU, I take the graphic card.
Congratulations,
And
here
you
is
guys
your-
get the RAM, okay?
Yeah. Here is your CD-ROM. You can take your CD-ROM.
Yeah.
Are we still using CD-ROM back then, or are we talking about DVD already by then? Okay, never mind.
I think on that time they already have
Let's
DVD.
not go into nostalgia mode so quickly. So-
But then on
Right.
2007, they have the event. They start to have the event called Thailand Game Show.
Okay. So Thailand Game Show started in
yes.
2007.
Yes, and actually, there's not just only Thailand Game Show that happened on 2007. There's another event. Actually, it's not on 2007, but on the next year, which called Big Festival, Bangkok International Game Shot to BIG Big Festival on 2008.
Right. Okay.
So we have two event.
Let me put up on screen really quickly.
Sure.
The Bangkok Game Show logo that you managed to dig up for me earlier.
Yes.
This is so old. This is back in 2005, obviously. The year is right
Yes.
there. This is so old that the image is super pixelated. Like it's really like, oh my god, your internet, like we tried to optimize it so that your hot shitty internet at home can like get like to see the page properly. So it's so heavily pixelated that image quality is just absolute trash. This is back in 2005.
Yes. Just a minute, why your picture is goes still
No problem.
on my side.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
that might
never mind,
be,
never mind.
sorry, that's my side. That's my side. Give me a shout out again. Sorry.
Okay,
It's a problem on my side.
okay.
Let me just fix that.
Okay. Okay.
There we go.
Please go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Please tell me if my image freezes again, because I'm running on like I have an app that's running, and today for some reason it's deciding to crash a lot. So it's the second time it's crashed already so far. It's probably gonna crash again. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so yeah.
Okay, for someone who said streamer is very easy task, look at this one. Okay, it's fucking hard. Okay.
I've been doing this a little bit long enough to recognize the fact that every IT guy that like prays to the servers before they go off on leave is perfectly legitimate, man. If it works, it works. Don't question it. And why does it crash? No idea. Anyway,
if you come to like in Thailand, some of the server room they have like the small shrine. Believe me, they have to worship like every holidays. Okay, but let's say this one you saw the logo, right? It's very pixelated.
Yeah.
It came from 2005. It came like before almost everything. So we have the event called Bangkok Game Show before Thailand Game Show. So I'm not sure. I think because of this one, so they cannot use the word Thailand Game Show. Because the organizer who making the Bangkok Game Show is different.
Right. So this was one thing that's always confusing for me, because like I'm just gonna bring this one up as well, like, which is Big Game Show, which literally stands for Bangkok Interactive Game. This is actually where the name comes from, and I think you were telling me, I think this is back in 2008. This is the logo for 2008. Like, I remember when I first started going into events in Thailand, I was exploring events in Thailand. You were telling me about how, like, oh yeah, there's Big Game Show and then there's Tokyo Game Show at the same time. Don't get them confused and stuff like that. And I think at the time I was visiting you at Big Game Show, because I remember going into the event hall and like the theme song was just playing like over and over again.
See.
Do you still remember it? Can you sing it? Because I can't.
To be honest, I cannot sing the Big Face the song, but I still can sing the Thailand Game Show song from 2007.
Right. But anyways, yes, so you as you were saying just now, like, so around the same time that Thailand Game Show started, like a year later, Big Game Show started a year later.
Yes.
All right. So
because of the Thailand Game Show is before Thailand Game Show 2007 is from two events. From two companies.
Oh, okay.
One is the Show No Limit, which still holding the brand of Thailand Game Show and still active.
Right.
The other one is the magazine called Comms Gamer.
Comms Gamer.
So when we said this one, you see it, right? Because of the big festival is from another brand, from the Future Gamer. So it's like two rivalry events, because one came from another magazine event, the another came from another magazine companies. Just two magazine of gaming companies have their own event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's become like Thailand Game Show and Big Festival. So Thailand Game Show always on the we call the Children Day. Thailand Children Day is kind of different. It will be on the second Saturday of January.
Right.
So because of that, is like we have the instead of they didn't call it Children Day or Children Event. They're calling it like the Children Who Play Games Day, something like that.
Oh, I get you. I think Japan has a very similar celebration for Children's Day also as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably wrong. Anyway.
So Thailand Game Show is on the in the early of the year.
Right.
Then on the October, which is the most active month in Thailand.
Right.
Yeah, because it's school break. So and many event and just finished the raining season. So a lot of events held on this month. So on October we have big festival. So it's two events separately and kind of a bit rivalry. I'm not sure about higher up, but on the soldier side like us, we happy to working in with anyone. So we didn't see as a rivalry. When they have the Thailand Game Show, we also we go to the event, we doing the news coverage. Yeah, so we have two events, but then for the Thailand Game Show, like continuing held the event, also big festival, also continuing like during the event. But then because of the like around 2010 on that time, early 2010, because of the before gaming industry in Thailand is we have the companies that consider themselves as a publisher. They just go to like oversee buying the games and open their service in Thailand, something like that. So they are middlemen.
Right.
But then around 2010, middlemen start to like crumble. On that time, I'm not sure how about in Malaysia or in Singapore, but in Thailand, the publisher start to like the downfall of publisher. I'm not sure I can mention this name or not, but you see, right? Sometimes the big companies, like the big game companies, they like somehow they just disappear from your news feed, something like that. Then because of this one, and Thailand Game Show, from official, what we can say is Thailand Game Show supposed to be Show No Limit and Com's Gamer magazine combined together.
Right.
But I think because of that time, they might have like the disagree on something, so they agree to like separate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. On that time, I used to working with the big festival.
Okay.
Because I'm working for the Future Gamer.
Right.
Doing the on that time they start to have like the TV like production house, something like that. So but during like around 2011, because of the deal between Com Gamer and Show No Limit, they broke. So one of the Show No Limit boss, they saw me, and on that time I just like quit from like full-time job from the Future Gamer. He said like, oh bro, we doing the Thailand Game Show this year, you want to help? So it's like, why not? And just quit. So I'm the only one that who working for the big festival and Thailand Game Show.
Okay, so let me do a quick recap if that's the case. Let me just make sure that I understand everything that you were just saying, yeah?
Sure.
So around like prior to 2010, Big and Thailand Game Show were running like in their respective time slots. One in early January or mid January. The other one is in October, and everything was like they were just mutually doing their own thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So then somewhere in 2010, because around the same time that at least Thai publishers were starting to have like issues where they most likely having financial issues and just disappeared eventually.
Yes.
The two entities that was organizing Thailand Game Show, which is Show No Limit and the other magazine one. What was the other magazine?
Com Gamer.
Right, correct. Sorry, thank you. So Com Gamer and Show No Limit, these two entities were like, hey, maybe we don't want to do this anymore together.
Yep.
And then next thing we know, like by 2011, Com Gamer had left the Thailand Game Show, and it's around that time that you joined Thailand Game Show yourself, lah.
Yes, and then that's correct. But then later, because I used to working with the big festival and Future Gamer, and also working for Thailand Game Show. So on that time, it's like I'm only one who used to work with both party, and I can talk to both party. And then later on, around 2012, actually it's happened during 2013. And they have like just read all the conflict that I cannot speak behind the scene. But then after that, on 2013, Thailand Game Show and Big Festival agreed to combine the event together.
Oh, really?
Yes. So on 2013, it's become Thailand Game Show Big Festival.
Oh, right. I remember. I think I remember. So by the time you and I were chatting online already, and when that announcement came up, I remember I reached out to you and go like, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Yeah. So it's very, how should I put this? It's very weird because actually there's supposed to be two rivalry events, but on that time, people say like, oh, it's Thailand Game Show, but the theme of that year is Big Festival. So Big Festival is not the event; it's just a theme of Thailand Game Show, which somehow is like I've been working this event for many years, but why people don't recognize us? But to be honest, TGS is on that time is it's a big event, very big event. So people they recognize TGS more than Big Fest. I think is reasonable.
Understood. So basically, not only did so somewhere in 2013, the two bigger game events in Thailand basically merged into one, and at the time, it was known as Thailand Big. This is the weird part because I have to correct the English speaking part of my brain to say this out loud. Is Thailand Game Big Festival, Thailand Big Game Show?
Thailand Game Show Big Festival.
Oh God!
They just called this one Thailand Game Show Big Festival 2013, something like that.
How often do you have to practice to get that correct? Like it feels so weird to say out loud.
Because we from the non-English speaking country, so it's just a name. So it's just the name that we read. We don't have like the something that in our mind that they have the meaning or something.
Right, the grammar
so
is you're not gonna fight the grammar in your head, basically.
Nah, no need.
Does it become
so
an issue
just
for you?
shout out loud, Thailand Game Show Big Festival 2013.
My brain is like constantly shuffling the words, and I'm struggling so hard. But yeah, that's fantastic.
And people say like because it's called Big Festival, right? And you know, right? Thailand sometime on the games event they have the booth babe, the female, the lady in the booth. The like booth companies like to handle the flyer or something like that.
Right.
And sometimes they're dressing like very sexy.
Yep.
And have very large chairs.
Yes.
So people say like, oh, this year big festival, very big. Because there are many very big on the booth. Yes, like that. Very big. I mean the size of the booth. You mean
No.
Booth,
the size of the booth.
The comedy
big.
booth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And after that, I'm not sure which year they start to like cutting off the big face of the names and just call Thailand Game Show. Just Thailand Game Show. But the both party who working together for this event still the same, which is Show No Limit, who's originally run the Thailand Game Show.
Right.
The other one is nowadays is Online Station. Online Station is used to be Future Gamer, which I told you before. Yes, but now Online Station also under True Corporation, which is very Arasaka of Thailand.
What?
You playing the Cyberpunk 2077?
I'm sorry, you've caught me at a disadvantage there, but. Yeah, like for those who don't know, True is like basically like a telecom like of Thailand.
Very fucking big.
Okay.
I mean, they own almost everything. Almost everything.
Right. So basically, it's like the Singtel of Thailand.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think they spread more than Singtel.
I think that's fair. That's a fair way of
I'm not sure.
assessing it. So yeah, so for that's a lot of history. There's a lot of history that I don't think most of anyone outside of Thailand would be familiar with. But yeah, just as a quick summary, so somewhere in 2013, Big Fest and Thailand Game Show once again like became one, and effectively became Thailand Game Show Big Festival, and then from there, eventually they dropped the big festival section of the name and just became Thailand Game Show.
Yes.
But the organizers of them, which were once again like at that point was like one half TGS, which was organized by Show No Limit,
Show
and
No
the other
Limit.
side, which is the guys behind Gamer,
Big Fest.
Future Gamer, right?
Sorry,
Future Gamer,
Big
right?
Fest. Future Gamer, yeah.
And Future Gamer, which was supposed to be Big Fest. So like the two of them remain the same. They're still the people who are organizing Thailand Game Show today, but the signs of Big Fest is basically no more around lah.
Yeah. No more Big Fest in their name, but
right.
Technically, behind the scene, they're still
around lah.
TGS and Big. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so for those who are unfamiliar with the Thai scene, like these guys, at least from my understanding of this, is that they are pretty big. One's one of the biggest telcos in Thailand. The other one's been organizing events since like 2005, 2007. Like Thailand Game Show itself has a history like that's more than 2 decades at this point, or almost coming up to 2 decades at this point. Almost 20 years? Is it almost 20 years?
Yeah, almost.
It's almost 20 years, right?
I think 18 years.
Yeah, so it's old enough to drink at this point in Thailand, at least.
Yes. Let me check
What's the drinking age in Thailand,
legal. I'm not sure. อายุเท่าไหร่วะ
Dude, you're Thai. How do you don't know this?
I remember they used to be 18, then they changed to 20 or something.
Well, Pochi is looking that up. Let me just
should for drinking in Thailand is 20s, but Thailand Game Show is old enough to erection.
You can drink shandy. They can do 1 can of shandy.
I can. I think.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone know. Okay. Okay, but yeah, nowadays the Thailand Game Show become like very big event, and for the event is something that you can expect to see from the games event.
Right.
Like games companies coming from local and international. They have the big like booth in Thailand Game Show. We have like the show on the stage. We have the competition, blah blah blah, yada yada, something like that. You want to open any picture? I can share on my site.
We'll go into the pictures you shared with me a little bit after this, because I think what I want to do is like we can share like what 2024 was like after this for both events, just to give a glimpse of it after this. All right. Actually, in fact, no. Let's do that. Let's do 2024 first for Thailand Game Show, right?
So,
I'm gonna fade in. This is a view from the stage. For those who are curious, these are all pictures that Pochi himself has sent to me. These are all his pictures. So if you're curious, he's the one that shot all these for me. Anyway,
actually have the picture of each event that I attend. I like to taking a picture of all event I going, but I never post anywhere.
No worries, man. So this is Thailand Game Show like 2024. You can see the main stage up there. It looks gorgeously huge. It's a huge B2C event. Like how many people
yes.
Like this is a great picture. I personally feel like this is a huge picture of like just how the attendance is going to be like.
Yeah, to be precise, I would say yes. This is the crazy event for B2C.
Can
Let
I
me
ask?
check how I can put the picture on my site too. Let me show your your stream.
I'm sorry. I should have.
Okay.
So today's stream is a little bit more scuffed because as I mentioned earlier, I haven't been doing like talkie streams for a very long time, and we kind of decided to do this a little bit like last minute. Like Pochi was really busy. We had no time to do a proper pre-show like setup. We were still doing some fixes like just before this. Yeah.
Nah, sorry, yeah, but okay.
No,
okay.
not your fault, man. Not your fault, man. Like this is
Okay,
that's
okay.
the life of a popular presenter, man. Top 10.
Thank you. Okay. Because of the you see the event, right?
Yeah.
It's very big one. If I'm not wrong, I think this year, 2024 is been the one who opening the event is the Thailand Prime Minister.
Right.
Yeah. So basically sometime the opening stage they have the like government big guy, Prime Minister, or the last year, if I'm not wrong, is the Thai governor, Bangkok governor come to event talking about their vision about the soft power about gaming, something like that.
By the way, I'm slowly just like scrolling through the photos you sent to me, just to give everyone a sense of like how the scene looks like from like the floor. Can I ask really quick, Pochi, is
Sure.
the entire event just like this one giant hall that I'm looking at right now?
Yeah, it's the picture you just saw, the having the light, the white light above is outside the event.
Right.
But this one is inside. This picture is inside.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, the picture you're looking right now is the booth from Tokyo Game Show that opened at Thailand Game Show.
I'm gonna probably mention that like at this point I made a mistake because usually when we're doing these streams, my co-host or my guest usually has some visibility over what I'm showing on screen. I made a mistake of actually not like setting that up properly. So while he was talking about like the Tokyo Game Show booth, what is actually on screen is actually his face.
Okay. Sorry.
No. It really is my fault. I am so sorry, but like I decided just to screw around with people. Like, okay, but yes, it is very common. To be fair, it is not uncommon for Tokyo Game Show and Taipei Game Show to actually have their booths in other game shows that I've seen. So I've seen them in Game Start, and I also similarly have seen them in Gamescom like last year as well. Yeah.
I think last year they Tokyo Game Show start to like spread the event. I mean they trying to have their booth in other event. And they said like something about, because last year they said something about like combining or have the collaboration between 3 TGS,
Right.
Tokyo Game Show, Thailand Game Show, and Taipei Game Show,
Right.
something together, three TGS.
Pochi, can I ask you? Because I was asking just now, like how whether the entire show, the entire Thailand Game Show was just this giant hall that we were seeing pictures of. A lot of that was because I was curious to know how is the indie scene in Thailand, if there is an indie section in Thailand at all.
That's something very hard to say it.
Oh, is it?
Yes, because of the like when we said indie scene, because of the to be honest, Thailand Game Show, the booth cost is crazy high. Crazy high. I think I can say this one. I can speak about this one because last year they have the like official like selling kit. They put selling kit on their website.
Right.
But this year I'm not sure. But the price, from what my friends who working like he's on the indies game companies,
Right.
He said for Thailand Game Show price of the booth, you can save money. You can go to Taipei Game Show, having a booth, pay for the ticket, pay for the hotel, still cheaper than Thailand Game Show.
Then opening it locally in Thailand Game Show.
Yes,
Right.
and if you're going to Tokyo Game Show, some part like you on the indie hall or the merchandise hall,
Right.
the price still cheaper than Thailand Game Show.
Right. Okay.
So it's very hard for
Understood.
indie companies to have the place in Thailand Game Show. But to be honest, it's very hard to say because every year all the space is sold out by the overseas companies like
Right.
HoYoverse, or we have some years we have Riot Games, or last year we have S.E.A games coming to the event.
I think
So-
one of the pictures we
yeah.
had earlier was of Relink, I believe was there. Let me
Yes.
just put it up on screen. There we go.
So basically, because of they can sell. I think because of
Right.
they can sell the boot. It's very hard for them to why we supposed
Right.
to discount.
Okay.
But since last year, I think 2024, they have the small booth sponsored by government to bring the local indie games to Thailand Game Show.
Okay. I is there a picture of it? Do you have a picture of it?
Let me check. I
No
think
problem.
I supposed to have, but if you're asking me okay, but normally where do the indies companies going for show their games? I would say they goes to gamescom on the same day
Well, okay.
in Singapore.
Okay, we'll go into that one in a bit. I
Yeah,
guess
because
that
it's
is the-
cheaper. I think
guess-
because
No. I guess that is a great segue into talking about Gamescom. So let's talk about Gamescom a little bit since you brought that up.
sure.
So yeah. So I actually had to bring this up. I had to do a little bit of research myself because I wasn't there for the first Gamescom. I wasn't there for many Gamescoms. Partially because I am Malaysian. So I only joined the Singaporean scene sometime, I think 3 years before COVID, right? So I think I only went in 2019. I think I can't remember. I think I only went in 2019. I don't remember whether I went in 2018. But Gamescom apparently, according to a press release I found, started in 2014. Let me just bring up this press release real quick. I'll put it on screen. Give me a short while, yeah?
Sure.
So this is a press release they put out when they announced their collaboration, or rather the fact that Gamescom was coming into Singapore and taking over what essentially was GameStar at the time. So this is an article that was set up in 2019, and basically GameStar was sort of started off with the idea of doing like a PAX-like event or a Tokyo Game Show-like event for this region. And in 2014, and then in 2019 they had it in 12th and 13th October. But by that time, before the event was even like held, it was already announced that starting 2020, Gamescom was going to take over. And I was mentioning, and for those who don't know Gamescom is a German event that started in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. My memory serves me right. I checked the wiki earlier, but my memory is a little bit off. I think it was 2007, 2008, roughly, something like that.
If I'm not wrong, it's before 2010.
Yeah, it's definitely before 2010.
Yeah, but I cannot remember when exactly.
Yep. But what I think what's important to recognize is that Gamescom is a huge event for B2C. Like if you're into the B2C scene, Gamescom is huge, right? It's a massive games event. So when they started, like honestly, I think for some of those who are familiar with video games events and stuff, like the idea that Gamescom was coming to Singapore, I think would have been something that was pretty exciting. Keep in mind though, however, at the same time, Level Up KL, which is the event in KL, that's organized by MDEC, was doing their own thing as well, and they were making like a lot of headway in setting up like a B2B, B2C at a GDC style event kind of thing. They're like trying to do equal parts of everything. Where like I think GameStart was sort of doing their thing as well. Personal opinion, MDEC, who runs Level Up KL, was somehow playing the game better, but I also think that's because they have government money to play with.
I see.
Yeah. So that's the scene in KL. So yeah. Anyways, so and well, so that was the announcement that they did in 2019. And unfortunately for the folks in GameStart, which once again are friends, we all know what happened in 2020.
Yes.
I don't want to have to say it out loud, but we all know what happened in 2020, and they were dealt a really, really bad hand. And last year, 2024, 2023, they came back. I can't remember whether they did anything in 2022. I think they did. But I know 2023 they did a show, and it was the first time they were doing a physical show again, and it was like them getting like back into the game of things. Last year, I was there. Personally, I kind of liked it. GameStart was a show that was always intended to be like part B2C, part B2B kind of thing. So they had stuff like, for example, fighting game tournaments that was there. I remember, like, I think in 2019, they brought, is it 2019 or 2018? I can't remember, but they brought Yoko Taro over.
I don't remember which year, but it's still on the Game Start, right?
Yep, correct. During Game Start. So that was like when they were doing that then. And I think when Gamescom was taking over for the show, they would try to do a lot of the stuff that GameStart was doing as well. So they still did the arcade games. They still did a lot of the fighting game stuff. In fact, last year, for those who are really into fighting games, like they had like both Justin and Daigo here in Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Daigo was actually like competing because apparently I think like so they were all competing because what happened was the tournament in Singapore was actually a part of the league where you can actually score like points for qualifiers and stuff like that. So they were professional like fighting game guys here in Singapore like competing at the time. It was really, really interesting.
See.
So GameStop was doing all of that, and Gamescom by extension was doing a lot of that too. I went to the B2C side of things, and it was also really, really interesting because I've not been to a lot of B2C shows, but Gamescom had practically everything that I can imagine that was useful. They had interesting seminars, they had meeting spots for people, they had an app that allowed you to arrange for meetings with people and like plot out your own individual private schedule and balance it against the schedules of the shows and talks and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's super duper handy. The only thing I didn't like about it, I'll be honest here, is that the app wasn't synced across the B2C and the B2B sections of the show.
Oh, so because of the schedule change?
No, it's not that. It's like the app was meant entirely for B2B to the point that they didn't. The B2B section to the point that they didn't think to really integrate the B2C sections of things. So, like, say for example, if I wanted to go to a B2C talk, it wouldn't be a thing that I can put into my B2B app. So I can't so I could plot a meeting and then accidentally realize that the B2C talk that I wanted to go to was already is at the same time, you know?
So it's not syncing up between both parts.
Correct. So it's a bit of a blind spot. I think it was something that they could improve on, but it's really, really small problems, you know? On the grand scheme of things, right? It's really, really small problems.
Maybe because of they didn't expect people to go to both.
Right, exactly. And the B2B, and to be honest, the B2B app, right, did everything it was supposed to do, as I said. Like it had everything. It had like all the meeting things that you wanted to do. They had ways for you to like arrange, like to put up your profile, and you could see what's your like what company you're from, what's your specializations are, and all that kind of stuff. You know. So as a B2B app, right? It was like top notch, man, top notch. You know, like it was doing everything you needed to do, right?
I see.
Yeah.
But B2C is not that good.
It's as I said, like it's an issue of it, like just the crossover that wasn't really helping.
I see. But
Yeah.
I remember in Gamescom, it's like they have like the one big hall for B2C, which is business to customer for the gamers. But the other hall is like B2B, business to business, which they open like the companies coming open their booth. They might didn't have like the big decoration. It's just like the plain one with some boring flyer. But
Don't last until like that. Some of them were still okay.
Okay, some still okay, but it's like because mainly they came they goes there like for the business talk, something like that.
Yeah. So I have on screen right now a picture I took from the B2C section of things. I took very few pictures. I'm so sorry for those. If you guys have more pictures, please go and look it up. But basically, what this photo of is of the fighting game area. It's massive. You can see like it's huge. The stage is huge. There's Capcom's booth in the background, and then
remember last year. Remember last year, Capcom goes to Gamescom, not coming to Thailand Game Show, which we kind of like, damn, Capcom, why don't you come here? We want the Monster Hunter demo.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a little bit. But yeah, the Capcom show was amazing because they brought the developers here, and they had demos there. You can play with them and stuff like that. So it's really, really amazing. So like the amount of jealousy that you're experiencing, I think is perfectly reasonable. But one thing I want to point out is also like if you look at this corner here, you can see Singapore Pavilion here. This is actually from like the Singapore government themselves. And then there's this entire area here that I don't have a photo of, and I do apologize for those people who were involved in this. Like Xbox and a bunch of other people, which I don't have the names off the top of my head, sponsored an entire like massive area, right, for indies. So like everybody had just basically this small tiny little pillar, like basically a pavilion kind of thing, like where it's just enough for a laptop and like a backing image. And
like the small standing booth for showing your game, right? I think it's same. Because when you mentioned about the Thai indie part, I cannot find it too. I thought I'm already like taking a picture, but the one that I think you talking about is kind of similar to the one that Korean doing.
Correct.
In Thailand Game Show.
That is exactly the one. So what happens is that it's not uncommon if you've been to a few event halls. They are fairly common, and they do this a lot. I'm sorry, I found a picture on it. So this is actually what I'm going to be showing right now is from a site called Virtual C. Virtual C. The link is also once again in the description below because this is something I prepared ahead of time. So these are the booths that we have. Pochi, let me send you the link as well.
Okay.
Here you go. You can take a look at it here as well.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see the booth there.
Yep.
So it's basically something like that. It's a single, like, one chair, one platform, that kind of thing. And they were just like a lot of this. Personal preference, a little too many of them. But I think it does a great job at showcasing like the sheer variety of different games that are within the region. Virtual C actually even has a link of a list of games, and which of them are Singaporean. Actually, you can go down that list right here. By the way, the link inside the link I have in the description isn't to the Indie Wave Makers one. The Indie Wave Makers is the one that is this indie space. I should probably give them a little bit more credit, and I'm gonna get scolded by people because once again I know these people. Indie Wave Makers is a brand that's under Elephant that does a lot of promotions for a lot of these indie guys. Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
once again, I'm also going to apologize to all my friends who actually do a lot of these works, because I have so much trouble trying to figure out how to properly label some of these things. I don't get their press kits because we are friends, and they are stuff that they're really, really good stuff. I should probably do more homework, and I apologize to every one of them. But please,
I think
if you guys,
we doing fine.
well, I mean, like as I said, like I'm not quite sure exactly how to label indie wave makers, but indie wave makers is basically, it feels like this initiative that's done by Elephant, which does a lot of promo for like indie companies and stuff like that. So the full extent of what they do, I'm not 100% certain. So this is what I'm really apologizing for, because if I'm going to do a shout out by right, I should be doing it properly.
So this one is under the companies, the Elephant, right?
Yes, correct, exactly. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I want to like, oh yeah, here we are. So
I think because we have some, I also have some friend in Elephant too.
There we go. So yeah, so I'm sharing this on screen as well. As I said, the link on Virtual C goes to this page where you can see they are indie wave makers at Gamescom Asia. So this year, Elephant and Xbox, there we have it. Collaborate to exhibit over 50 games at the Gamescom Asia 2024 Entertainment Zone. So see, if only I did a little bit of homework, I could have gotten it right. My fault, my bad.
No, it's all right, bro. Hey, by the way, you checking the picture, the latest picture that I sent to you.
Right.
If you zoom in the picture, that the one that I sent to you, if you zoom into the business area, in front of the entrance, you would see, because of the indie web maker, you might find like many companies from Singapore and Malaysia or Indonesia, right? But you cannot find like very few Thai like companies. But the thing is, if you going to look through the Gamescom Asia last year, 2024, actually the one from Thailand is we have our own village over there.
Correct. So
yeah.
I was going to say something about this one because I couldn't find the list, and thank you so much, Pochi, for looking this up, because I remembered when I was walking through the B2B area, right? I actually wanted to check out the Thailand pavilions and stuff because I was interested in like what the Thai indie scene was like. Oh shit, my camera's frozen again.
No, it's alright.
Right, give me a second.
But in front of the like entrance, that section is like Thailand pavilion, which is it's kind of weird because the event is on the same day with Thailand Game Show, but Thai companies didn't have like the place in their own hometown to show their games because they have to like, it's a bit expensive, but at least this year, because of we start to have the thing that called the Department of Soft Power. Like thinking of the like Korean, they have like the one that pushing the K-pop or the Korean culture, right? Like the K-pop. If I'm not wrong, it's Kokka. Thailand also have something similar, but we call it like Taka. So basically, we trying to like this department trying to push like support local industry, like thinking of the like the manga, movie, series,
so
games,
cultural exports and stuff like that.
Yes. So because of that, they buying like the place for the booth for the local indies for inside Thailand Game Show.
Okay, great. So I think I want to I think at this point we've got a rough, like everyone's got a rough idea on what Thailand Game Show is like and how Gamescom Asia is like. I hope everyone's got a rough idea. I don't know whether I'm doing Gamescom Asia a real justice, but like I think we've got roughly some semblance of it. So yeah, so let's go into the next section, which is really about like the announcement and what to expect moving forward. Because the announcement, I think for a lot of us who are not directly involved in the conversation, we are like, oh, what's going on, kind of thing, right? Pochi, did you know anything about this? Do you hear anything about this before it happened?
I didn't know about this before it's happened, but after it's happened, I talked a bit to someone, and they said like actually the deal is like starting from since last year, and it's not published yet. So this is the thing that I can speak. So it's like the deal that Gamescom come to Thailand because of the Thailand soft power department, the TACA.
Right.
That's one that push this deal. I know that they okay, that one cannot talking about it, but okay, let's say because of the like they're trying to push all the event come to Thailand. They're trying to push the Thai soft power. So at least when we talking about like to be honest, it's government thing. So they're trying to push this way, and because of the people inside the soft power department, actually some of them are my friends too, because it's like we working in this industry for like 20 years, and now we at the age that we can go to working for government.
Right.
Because actually I'm also working for the like the committee for the Thailand culture it's not the center, the department of Thailand culture. Also one of the committee. Yeah, like doing the screening the game, something like that.
Screening the game.
Yeah, we have the rating system, but it's never be like the law enforcement. We just doing like the like stamping, something like that. So instead of they hiring like the government people, they're hiring like people from outside, from the like from the companies, from the outside government to like to voting for the games. Like this one is which rating they're supposed to be, like 15 or adults only, something like that.
So
Thinking of ESRB.
So basically, you're an advisor for like 18 plus ratings lah.
Every rating. But for 18 plus, I think I have specialized on that one. Nah, just kidding. But okay, let's say because of this deal happened because of the TACA, the Thailand, the soft power thing. And I think this is not just, this is one of that like begin, like that first few steps, because now they have like they start to having like the Thailand pavilion in almost every event around the world. Like last year in Tokyo Game Show, they have like the big Thailand pavilion, and that one also from soft power and the export department, the government also helping. So yeah, I think it's turned into the time that people like on our age having the place in the government. So we trying to like to push the thing that we like. We like video game, we like manga, we like anime. So we trying to push something which having like Thai culture on it. Because we like it, we love it. We trying to like we've been praised by the generation before us. Thinking of the baby boomer, what they done to generation Y like us. So when we have like the place in government, we trying to push.
Of course.
Because no one come to like say stop to us, because we are the boss right now.
Definitely one way of phrasing it. Oh, but
this
Pochi,
is
okay. So I do want to ask about like, okay, so we have some idea on why it's happening, and I think for obvious reasons, like even for me personally, I recognize how expensive it is to sometimes run events here in Singapore. So if you consider like what the attendance is like for TGS, specifically we're talking about Thailand Game Show, last year, I think the idea of the two events joining forces makes a lot of sense. But I have some concerns, and this is actually part of why I also wanted to have this call, because I wanted to know like what it might be like for somebody who maybe say they were planning to exhibit in Gamescom, right, here in Singapore or something like that, right? And now that the two are merging, what would the experience be like? So I'll give you an example, right? So earlier I mentioned about how I was asking about like indie games and stuff like that, right? So like, and then I brought up how Elephant had their whole Indie Wave Makers in collaboration with Xbox, and they had this entire pavilion space that was very in the B2C area that was dedicated to indies, right? And before that, GameStart actually had Dojin booth like places, so they had like artist alleys and things like that, which at least based on what you've shared with me, it doesn't seem like Thailand Game Show has it.
No.
None of that, right?
Both too expensive.
Right, exactly.
Before we used to go, but then when they start to rise the price, is we cannot afford anymore.
Right.
Besides, actually the Thailand Game Show held on the same weekend with the event, the book fair.
Oh, okay.
But book fair in Thailand is different dimension. It came from like isekai. Because book fair is more than 1 million people coming to this event. Because of the nowadays the book fair dominated by light novel, manga. So you can find everything inside book fair. You want cosplayer inside book fair, they have. You want the manga inside book fair, they have. Sure. We have like the big area of the yaoi, the boy love novel.
But okay, so now that's fine. But basically what that says to me is that if, say, for example, you're a small hobby developer, or like say you make games on the side and you want to like find a place to promote or play test or like just generally like have some physical presence to work with people, like it sounds like what if, let's say, for example, we are going to follow like Thailand Game Show's old models and stuff like that, assuming they make no changes, right? That's not going to be the place for them anymore.
To be honest, before 2003, Thailand Game Show is not just Thailand Game Show, it's Thailand Game Show combined with the Wonder Festival, One Fest from Japan.
Okay.
It's kind of weird because they said they combine the event, but you have to buy the ticket separately.
Right.
And that is one thing. So basically, it's might possible that if it came to the same agreement like before, it's going to be Thailand Game Show is one hall, the other hall is Gamescom, which going to be very weird.
Yeah, correct, right? Because Gamescom will also need to have their hall for B2B areas.
Yes, but you saw the picture, right?
Yeah.
When they're promoting about their collaboration.
Yeah.
Let me send you the picture, because on the collaboration announcement, they said this year going to be 4 days event. Before Thailand Game Show is just 3 days event. But when they said 4 days event, 4-day event, if you look closely is business area 16 and 17 October. Then entertainment area is 17 to 19 October.
Okay, so to be fair, let me just check the dates again here, yeah?
Sure.
Just really quickly, yeah? Let's see, October 16, 17 is Thursday, Friday, then 17, 18, 19, correct. Okay, so just to be clear, this is actually Gamescom's actual operation days on their own. Like this is 2024's operation days for Gamescom. So Gamescom's B2B is 2 days. And then what happens is that they had B2C open on Friday for limited access, then Saturday and Sunday are public access.
Oh, I see. Because in Thailand, we never have something like this before. If you want B2B, you go to another event. I mean, on the same day with Thailand Game Show, but that event is never announced to public.
Right.
So this year, because they combine with Gamescom, so it's going to be like public area is 3 days like before, but
Right.
they have like the business area on 16, which is Thursday and Friday.
Right.
I believe this one going to be like we have one very fucking big hall for Thailand Game Show, but then
Right.
we have the Gamescom handle the business area.
Correct. So that's my impression as well. But that's also why I bring up the concerns with like people like the small scale developers and stuff like that, the small indies and the small guys, right, who are looking to either find engagement or to market to direct to B2Cs, or like they're trying to do play tests and stuff like that in an open space, like to gauge interest and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not sure because it's like the normal price for the zone is for Thailand Game Show is kind of high.
Yeah.
So for indies, maybe this is one just very big maybe. Gamescom Asia might have their own area inside Thailand Game Show.
But that's one possibility.
They might.
Yeah. So as of this moment, at least until they announce something for the indie side of things, as of this moment, if we follow completely the Thailand Game Show's old model, there might not be a dedicated place meant for indies and smaller developers. Hopefully they can do something about this. Hopefully, we the guys will have a place to exhibit. We still don't know how that will show up. I do have a follow-up question here though, and this is going to sound a little rude. So Pochi, I do apologize, especially to your audience who are who some of them who might be watching right now. I'm curious to ask, like, this is going to be very obvious also, by the way. Like, I'm assuming 90% of Thailand Game Show's attendance are going to be Thai only.
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, because my impression of the English level in Thailand isn't particularly high.
If count only Bangkoker, I mean just only people in Bangkok, actually they can communicate in English, or at least they understand.
Okay, then
they can speak or they understand.
So then it's really my fault, because what happened was that my impression when I was in Bangkok, I think almost 8 years ago, I think it was the last time I was there. The overall standard was like very basic, like you can understand the very basic hi bye, that kind of thing, but like I can't sell you a game with the level of English. Is at least what I'm worried about. Like if I want to ask you about like, oh hey, what do you think of the game, right? I can't have a conversation with you.
Okay, just for more info, I got the info from my comment. From Kun Sai. Sai is one of the owner of the like indie company in Thailand.
Right.
He said like Gamescom Asia in Thailand has announced their indie pricing, but I wonder which area we going to exhibit, and which is the reason I'm still consideration. So we're still not sure where they're going to exhibit the indies area. Maybe in the business area, or they have on B2C or not. To be honest, not sure. But if you came from overseas and you want to sell the game in Thailand, to be honest, at least have one staff that can speak Thai. Should be better to communicate to to local. And to be honest, I'm trying to find like Thai translator for your marketing stuff to like before you printing anything. Don't trust Google translation. Don't trust even ChatGPT translation. It doesn't that accurate. Believe me. But if you want to do the market in Thailand, you still need to like hiring like the local or at least someone who communicate to local.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because to be I mean, I want to be blunt about this one a little bit, because personally for me, and I think this in part has to do with my own comfort level. And I also, there's a lot of bias involved, so I apologize once again. Like I'm used to using English, right? And like a lot of games, the English speaking market is one of the largest ones alongside the Chinese speaking market.
Yes.
And Thailand within Southeast Asia is very, very big market. But one of the unique things about Thailand, right, is that like if you want to get into Thailand, you have to do Thai.
Yes.
So where I'm trying to get at here is that, hey, if I'm going to go into Gamescom and I'm going to do a game demo, right? Would I need to localize to Thailand? Do I need to localize my game into Thai to be able to do a games demo? Do you think that that's a requirement?
I don't think it's not required. Just have like one translator to help you like talk to audience or customer should be enough. But no need to like translate into Thai interface. No need to. But to be honest, if you going to like go big, like you are HoYoverse or you are Capcom. So you supposed to, but to be honest, Thai gamer can speak English. Even sometimes in the Facebook group, they're asking like, bro, what this one translate to, what this skill can do, something like that. Okay. But mostly they can read, they can understand English.
Okay, so let me summarize for those who are interested to exhibit in Gamescom X TGS after this. Like you said, number one, an indie booth price has been released in Thailand. I don't know whether it's been released in Gamescom themselves, but maybe I'm not looking hard enough. But a price has been released in Thai. It is cheaper, but it's not known yet what the location of the booth is going to be. Right?
Yes.
So for those who are sorry, go ahead.
Let me checking. Kun Sai, could possible to, if possible, can you send me the selling kit for Gamescom? I just want to look through it too.
Right. So
okay. Please continue.
So while Pochi is digging his sources, not his nose.
Yes.
With my nose. Number one. Then number two. If you want to exhibit though, like it's advisable for you to actually have a Thai speaker there to actually help, like, you know, facilitate some of the onboarding and the tutorials and things like that. But generally, Thai gamers are comfortable enough with English that you should be fine, like with a UI, with an English UI. Most people understand the basics enough that you shouldn't have too much of a problem. And then with the help of maybe a Thai local who's going to help you like bridge some of the mechanics and explain some of the things, you should be okay with most things already.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, just at least hide the local.
Yeah.
Hide the local.
Also,
but no need to translate the UI.
Extra tip, if you're going to do printing, I'm going to quote you on this last one, which is if you're going to do printing in Thailand, get a local to help you, and like make sure that like you don't rely entirely on Google Translate. So I want to check on this one. When you said that, right, you're talking about like don't Google Translate your English sentences and then put it on your poster, right? That's what you mean, right?
Yes. Do not using Google Translate or any AI translate like ChatGPT or something from English to Thai and expect that this one is going to be okay. I think it's like the pain point of every language that Google Translate is always fuck up.
My personal look, I'm Chinese literate. I'm always laughing every time I see those like old Chinese localizations.
Yeah.
Like F vegetables is one of the most famous ones.
Which we don't understand why.
Oh no, I understand perfectly well. Because gan cai literally means dry vegetables. But if you have a very bad translation, it can also mean that because gan actually means that too. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So for anyone who's going into Gamescom X TGS after this, keep this in mind, especially for those who are looking. Yeah. I'm personally a little bit curious and uncertain, for myself at least, because with Level Up KL being still in the scene, I'm personally wondering whether Level Up KL might be a better choice for me, considering that like I like the idea of like using events as a platform to show my games to other game developers and being able to talk and say, hey, what do you think about it? What do you think, like, you know, good, bad, or whatever else there is, you know, getting feedback from other developers, not only just the general public. Yeah. Do you I think we probably can't say whether Gamescom XTGS is going to be like that this coming year, but the question, at least in my head, still lingers lah.
To be honest, it's going to be like the first year that they're coming. We still figure it out, and I believe even TGS staff or Gamescom Asia staff still not yet figure it out how it's going to be this year, because we still have time, like 7 months before the event. Maybe they still figure it out how.
Right.
To be honest, because we used to working with the organizer, we know that every schedule, every floor plan also can change. Even like the last week of the 1 week before the event, the floor plan still can change.
We prefer
The
not
schedule on the stage also can change, right?
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be that way, but sometimes it's happened. So maybe this still early of the deal. We still not knowing yet that how Gamecom going to implement into, or how they're going to combine together with Thailand Game Show.
Yep. Man, there's still so many obvious questions, and right now, like personally for me as an English speaking developer / con goer kind of thing, I don't know how comfortable I am making plans for Gamescom this year. I know it's not fair, but because I'm right now sitting in my living room in Singapore, like my plans to say, oh, I'm gonna go to Gamescom was very much like, oh, I'm going to get out of the house on Saturday morning and like, you know, you know.
Before it's like, you go to the event, but
exactly,
now it's like, come to Thailand. You have to go to Thailand.
Through a different, like I have to go through customs now.
Yeah, come na, come
look, I want to, Pochi, I want to come and see you like nobody's business. We have missed each other so many times. You have come to Singapore, we never get to meet. You went by Malaysia, we never get to meet. I haven't been to Thailand in so many years. That's my fault, not yours. But yeah,
because we going, it's like we go for the event. We go to the event, mean we busy.
Right,
that's all.
Right. But anyways, but yeah, so but it is a significantly larger commitment than the original plans I had prior to this. There was also questions, of course, also similarly, the comparison I have, and this is a bit unfortunate, also similarly not fair to Gamescom XTGS as well. Like, because I'm Malaysian, my question now becomes, why wouldn't I go to Level Up KL instead, you know? So it's a very weird, it complicates things for me. But I think for a lot of people who were already going overseas, quote unquote, overseas for Gamescom, do you think there is going to be a very large difference between their experiences here in Singapore versus their experiences over in Thailand? Like, I mean, aside from the fact that they'll be in Thailand.
To be honest, it's like we still not know yet, because it's going to be like the first time that they come to Thailand, right? And for the B2C, I think kind of similar experience, but for B2B, I'm not sure. So I think, to be honest, even we said like Gamescom come to Thailand, maybe they just come because they bring the B2B section more than B2C. Because B2C going to be like, I think Thailand Game Show they doing well from the first place. So maybe they bring the B2B. And the other thing is, if thinking of the like you are Capcom or you are the HoYoverse, maybe now you don't have to choose the event for
Right.
Southeast Asia.
Right.
You on the same day you can go to
Right.
like you have the same budget. You don't have to split to Gamescom and Thailand Game Show, or you have to choose. Now you just go to Thailand Game Show, X Gamecom.
Well, so that was one of the reasons. I mean, this is a little bit besides the point of what we were discussing, but like we were talking offline about why we felt this might have been a move that was meaningful to the organizers, right? Because not only do Thailand Game Show, who seems to have their B2C section handled very well, and Gamescom, which is a little bit more on the B2B side of things, the two of them merging forces together makes a lot of sense because they cater to both sides of these things, right? And then on top of that, because their dates are so similar, this reduces this problem where foreign exhibitors, like those from Japan or those from the US or from any other country for that matter, like they don't have to choose between these two events anymore. They can just have it there, right?
Yeah. Thinking of, remember when I said that Thailand used to have two events?
Yeah.
They combined the event because they don't, to be honest, it's like before they have two events. So companies have like limited budget, so they have to choose. But because there's only one event, they cannot choose.
Oh, so I guess like the good part is that like, hey, they can just throw their money behind that. But if the price is weirdly expensive or anything else, they don't really have a choice. There's lack of competition. That's a different problem. But I think like if you're coming in from a foreign exhibitor's perspective and you want to reach out to Southeast Asia as a market, I guess it makes sense. Being English speaking, I do have this bias that makes me feel that English is a more accessible language. I know it's not fair for me to say this, but I do have some hesitation over like, oh, hey, how well can you reach across all other like regions, like all the other countries in Southeast Asia, if your core press material is going to be in Thai, you know?
Understand. Yeah, so it's going to be like a bit too local, to be honest.
Yeah, but at the same time, at the same time, it's really, like you said, it's really hard to say how big a problem this is going to be, because I think it's not difficult to localize some of these articles and like, you know, have more of a footprint outside of Thailand, like just by having a few people like post up pictures and things, right? So it may not be a problem.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's like Thailand, if you doing something like against our belief, but if you are overseas, mostly we don't much care unless you're doing to like to the royal or to the Buddhist. Yeah. By the way, just send you the picture.
Yep.
But we better not put this picture on. I got this one from Mr. From the games companies, the indies companies. He just sent to me.
Yes, thank you.
So so they have but they not yet said which area they're going to exhibit.
Right, I see.
Because they didn't say about the place or even the how many days.
Yeah, that's insane. How? Okay, this is a very
sorry. I think it's on the B2B side, business area.
How do you tell?
Not B2C.
Oh wait. No. Okay. So I'm sorry for those who are actually listening in or watching. Right now, I've got a slide from a sales pitch, which I assume is from a sales deck for Gamescom XDGS. There's no date available on the slide. No exhibition date available on the slide, so we don't know which dates this gives you access to. But I want to translate a thing that I personally feel might be a bit much. I need somebody to tell me whether this is expensive or cheap because I have no frame of reference. But
Okay,
but for an indie kiosk, it's 27,000 Thai baht. And I just did a quick translation for this, by the way. 27,000 Thai baht is roughly about 1,066 Sing dollars, roughly lah. Plus change. So like if you round it up, it's about 1,100 Sing dollars for an indie kiosk. And judging from the picture that they have, what an indie kiosk is, it's very similar to what the indie wave makers had, like I mentioned earlier. So let me just see if I can bring that back up as a reference.
The is around 1,000 Sing don. Is it all right?
Correct. I mean, 1,100 Sing dollars actually. Because you want to round it up.
I'm not sure how many days. Because they said on the top said like business area B2B. To be honest, I'm not sure if this one is 2 days for like 1,000 SGD.
So, correct, you're right. So this is for because it says business area. Most likely that means it says that B2B, which most likely means that it's only for those 2 days.
Yes.
So it's for 2 days. 2 days is about 1,100 Sing dollars. Yeah.
I'm not sure about the price before, but to be honest, in for raw space is 13,000 per 1 meter square meter. So if you combine into 9 square meter, so it's going to be around like 120,000 Thai baht, which is like the normal, roughly normal price for Thailand Game Show, but it's supposed to be like inside the B2C.
Okay. So that's what 3x3 meters, is it?
Yeah, if that one is 3x3.
Okay. So it's a 3x3 B2C is roughly about 20,000 Thai baht. Is it? What is it? 120.
You see the first column, right?
Yep.
The raw space.
Yep.
1.3, that one.
Yep.
It's supposed to be like minimum is 18 meter square. So it's supposed to be it's not 3x3, it's like 9x9.
Like 2 by.
Oh, it's 3 by. It's not 3x3, it's like 6x3.
6x3, yeah, okay.
Yeah, 6x3. So it's 6x3. The price combined, to be honest, it's like for the raw space, I think is roughly around like same as the B2C area.
I have a weird
standard chairs. Yep.
Yeah, so there's something weird about this pricing though.
Sure.
So why is the indie kiosk so much more expensive then?
No. Kiosk is just per space, but the price of the raw space or the standard shelf scheme is per like 1 square meter. Correct. So it's around like 100,000 something.
Oh, it's per square meter. Understood.
Per square meter.
Right. Okay. So sorry. Once again, because I can't I'm so sorry guys for not being able to put this image on screen. Because the thing is that we can't show our sources, and this is something that like we've kind of got it on the side, but the rough cost of it comes down to a raw space. If you get at 18, like a minimum of 18 meters, which is 18 square meters, which is the minimum they will sell to you. A raw space at 18 square meters is charging you at 13,000 Thai baht per square meter. So 13,000 Thai baht is roughly about $515. I'm going to round it up to about 520. Right, so that's $520 per square meter, and if you times that by 18, once again you also similarly just multiply that about 20, you are looking at about roughly $10,000 for a single like business area booth.
Yes,
between like $10,000 to $15,000 for 2 days.
To be honest, I'm not sure, but before. Let me send you the number.
Yeah.
Before the price is rising, this one is 3x3 price.
A 3x3.
Thai baht.
Right.
It's like almost the same as the kiosk one, but it's like almost 10 years ago. But that's the price that we can go for 3x3.
Right. So I guess like for those who are interested, please reach out to Gamescom XTGS to get more information on their sales prices. But at least from what we could get in front of us right now, if you're an indie wanting to do a one-sided indie kiosk, you want to purchase a one-sided indie kiosk, that's going to take you back about roughly 27,000 Thai baht, which translates to roughly about 1,100 Sing dollars. I want to also emphasize that this is not inclusive of their GST as well, which is 7%. So if you take into consideration local taxes and like cost of transfers and all that kind of stuff, you're looking about 1,100. So I'm gonna go ahead and ballpark it to say 1,500 if you want to just have some change. That's 1,500 Sing dollars for 2 days in business. Yeah, for your booth. Roughly. Let's see. Yeah. So I've never opened a booth myself, but I can say this much: it's far more than hobbyist. Like it as a hobbyist, it might be a bit expensive.
For hobby, yeah. So because of the like Thailand Game Show, the price is, as I told you before, is kind of high. To be honest, so I'm kind of worried about like because even Thai indie have to go to Singapore to exhibit their booth instead of coming to the local event,
right.
because local event is too expensive. Yeah. Let's see how. Okay. I got the sale kit for recently. I just got the sale kit for Thailand Game Show 2025.
Okay, I just did a quick Google search or so as well, by the way. Now Google's AI, I don't like resorting to AI, but I'm live here, so I'm just going to read off it. I did a quick AI for I did a quick Google search for like Gamescom Indie Wave Maker 2024 booth pricing. According to Google's AI, it says that the Gamescom Indie Wave Makers event ranges from 900 to 1800 SGD.
900 SGD.
Yeah. So it's one side is 900. So if we're looking at conversion, like, so if the conversion that we did was correct, and we don't include taxes and whatever else there is, this is in effect a $200 increase. SGD.
Yeah. Okay.
SGD. Emphasis SGD.
To be honest, sometimes people say like, come to Bangkok. We are the country that very cheap. Somehow it's like, sometimes I think live here in Bangkok is more expensive than Singapore already. Sometimes.
Well,
I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So why I'm bringing this up is because, as I said, I'm coming from somebody who's curious about if I want to exhibit, what this means as a person, like has to consider what my project is going to be able to afford and all that kind of things. So as a quick summary, as a B2C event, Thailand Game Show has definitely its background, but right now we don't know whether they have an indie space inside the B2C area. We know that right now the B2B area is charging about roughly 1,100 Sing dollars for 2 days of exhibition on the indie, like for indie kiosk, and this is also not inclusive of say your hiring of a translator for on-site activities, or any other taxes involved, as well as say, for example, if you want to do on-site printing, you might need somebody to help you do your Thai localization as well, and all that kind of things. So like those additional costs are going to add up for you.
So to be honest, it's like a bit expensive.
Look,
we don't know.
correct.
If you can afford, at least Thailand Game Show, we can like guarantee that we have many people coming to the event.
Yep.
But is going to be your customer or not is we don't know.
So I think this part of this conversation really is about the whole point of this conversation is really very much about just looking at what Gamescom is, as I mentioned, like right from the start, right? We're trying to see what Gamescom is, what Thailand Game Show is, and try to get a sense of how it might be like if, say, for example, you were looking at Gamescom and said, hey, I want to show up in the event this year in Thailand, right? So, so if you're going to be a dev who's looking to exhibit there, these are the problems that you might have to consider, and the or at least considerations that you need to consider while you're trying to make your plans there. If you're Capcom or you're Hoyoverse, this is probably not the show for you. If you're finding out your stuff here, like, I'm sorry, man, like you, well, thank you. Hi, welcome to the channel. Nice having you here. Please give me free stuff. But Pochi does stream Monster Hunter, by the way. I unfortunately still don't have my set, so it's not too late to sponsor me a copy of the game. If anyone wants to. But anyways, but yeah, no, like this information is probably not useful to you at all. But for anyone else who is, if you're a hobbyist or you're on your first project and you're looking at Southeast Asia as your market because you're from Southeast Asia, and you're thinking to yourself, I want to figure out how much it's going to cost, or get some sense of like what difficulty am I going to have as an exhibitor trying to exhibit in Thailand Game Show. Like, these are a few considerations at least you should keep in mind. We are also not yet talking about anything to do with like, how much it'll cost for your hotel stay or your transport around the area, or your F&B around the area, or your entertainment costs and all that kind of things. I'm not going there yet. I personally enjoyed my visits to Thailand, so that is not going to be a thing that I want to cover anyway, because I think that is independent of, Gamescom and all that kind of stuff. But strictly speaking, as a person who like wants to exhibit your project, this could be a thing that might move your eyes somewhere else. I'm not saying that you should. I'm saying that you should consider the difficulties as well. It's not going to be a one-on-one kind of thing. Yeah.
We give you the fact that but it depends on you to design. You want to come to the event or not, because event is supposed to be like, since it in Thailand, people can say speak English, but still we didn't use English as like the first language. So you don't have to translate everything into Thai, but still it's not that easier. Like, it's not that easy compared to Singapore. And
sorry, I should probably highlight also as well, like I mentioned it earlier, the booth is going to be in the booth price we quoted just now for the kiosk is in the business area. I want to emphasize that very likely the business area is probably going to be filled with English speakers. So if you're just like, I don't have the budget to look for a translator, like I just want to do it on my own and I don't have the budget to handle a translator or handle anything that's too elaborate, it's worth probably considering the fact that the business area is most likely going to be populated by English speakers. I'm not saying they're all going to be English speakers, but you have a decent chance lah.
To be honest, maybe this deal that Taka, the Thailand Department of Soft Power, that bringing the gamescom to Thailand, maybe because they want to bring more like overseas coming to the event. Maybe, and they can promote like Thai tourism, something like that too, like doing everything on the same time. Maybe, and they're trying like, okay, if for Capcom, Ubisoft, or the big companies, they're not going to care like two events combined together. They didn't saw like this is Thailand, this is Singapore. Maybe they just saw it like this is Southeast Asia. So they're just coming two event combined together, just better because they don't have to split.
Correct.
But for the limited budget companies, to be honest, they have a lot of people coming to the event for sure, but the price a bit is your consideration.
Correct. So I also want to probably highlight real quick. We were talking some numbers earlier just now. Like the smallest booth space that we have on our eyes right now is 13,000 Thai baht per square meter. So I think I did a rough calculation for you earlier, and I'm just going to repeat it for summary's sake. It comes down to roughly about $15,000 for roughly a 2x3 booth, roughly. And once again, this is for the business area, not even for the B2C area. I don't know. We currently do not know what the B2C area's costing is going to be. For anyone who's looking to do more B2C stuff.
If I'm not wrong, let me check the price. Let me see. I think B2C is roughly around. Let me check the price. I think it's similar, if I'm not wrong. What as a sponsor?
Okay. So while
let me check
while Pochi is looking through some of his gifted sources, I just want to recap also a bit of the stuff that we've been talking about in terms of like what the individual events are like in 2024. From my experiences, Gamescom as a B2B experience is pretty solid. I can't say for sure if it's like for everyone who's ultra business minded, it was the event to go to, but I personally felt it was pretty nice. Keep in mind, I'm a game designer. I went there to network and mingle with people, with my peers. So my experience comes from this place. My impression is that a good number of people were making good deals there. Gamescom even organized a pitch competition where there were people who actually got their ideas funded through the event. So that speaks for something as a B2B event. So if they're doing the same thing in Thailand, I don't see a problem with it being in Thailand, because a lot of those people who were involved in the pitch session, a lot of them weren't even Singaporeans as well. They're regional people. So yeah. So assuming Gamescom does the same thing, I think that's gonna be still pretty cool. But yeah, it's a factor that you need to consider for yourself.
Actually kind of saw the look through the price. Aside from kiosk, I think it's kind of similar price if you compare to the standard tier scheme.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check the. Is 14,500 per square meter.
Yep.
So by 9 is going to be like at 130,000 Thai baht. And for the price inside the B2C, the smallest one is raw space or category. 5x3 is 150,000. So I think similar. If you compare to like 1 square meter per square meter, I think is inside the B2C is a bit cheaper. but
fascinating.
it draws space. You have to doing the decoration by yourself. At the event, sometimes it's like they trying to dim the light. So you, especially this one, you need the light for your booth to pop out.
Well, I think that really depends on your booth and your concept that you're going with. But just as a reference point, Pochi, you mentioned just now 130,000 Thai baht for a 3x3 inside the B2B area, right?
130 for 130,000 for the 3x3
3x3 inside
the
the
scheme.
Shell scheme, right? Correct. So that roughly puts you back about roughly $5,200, roughly $5,200, Sing dollars once again. Yeah. So that's what you're looking at. So we're just tossing a lot of numbers because once again, if you're looking at exhibiting, you need to know these numbers, and they are going to be points of consideration for you to try and figure out whether it's going to be worth it. Obviously, if you are part of the industry, there are probably going to be ways for you to get involved. Like say, look for your local governments for support, or local game developers organizations. Like in Singapore, we have the S.E.A, who might be actually setting up a pavilion or have arrangements with the organizers to possibly, get you booths for cheap. So a lot of these numbers, what we are talking about are numbers that are public numbers. Public.
Yep.
Basically, if you ask them, this is the default they're going to send you, and then how much you can make negotiations, or if there's anyone else who's doing subsidies and stuff like that, the price might go down, right? I also probably should mention, me and Pochi, I'm personally, for those who are familiar with how I normally talk, it will sound for some of you guys that I'm being very cautious about, as though I'm trying to be very nice about this. The fact is I am, because the truth of the matter is that this is the first time Gamescom is doing this thing with Thailand Game Show, right? And as we were talking about, I was saying, we've repeatedly talked about it. I've repeatedly mentioned it with Pochi. We really don't know how this is going to turn out. I have my own skepticisms about this, but it's not fair for me to lay it out a little too thick, because I think all of us have our own skepticisms over this. And a lot of it comes from the simple fact that I am English speaking and I don't know what the Thai market is like, or the Thai scene is like. And this is also why I asked Pochi to come here and do this stream with me. Because, hey, we all can learn a little bit more from each other, right?
Yeah, because even for Thailand also, they don't understand how important is the gamescom that come to Asia too.
Right.
Because they might saw it on their face, but they don't exactly know what is it. Right. Yeah, so as I told you, it's this deal is like, hey, Singapore Kung. Gamescom is here now with me. NTR moment.
Okay, so I think we're more or less done, but I do want to wrap up with one extra thing. I feel like if I didn't mention this, I would be a little remiss, I'm not doing my part. There is a number of people, at least in Singapore, me included, by the way, who, as a result of this deal, right, it puts us in a very weird and awkward place, because it feels like there's no game-centric event left in Singapore suddenly. We were talking earlier about how in Thailand it was a lot of consolidation. It went from the animation event to big game show to to Bangkok Game Show and all that kind of stuff, and then eventually it just sort of merged itself into Thailand Game Show as it is right now. In Singapore, right, it was GameStart, which became Gamescom, and now there's nothing else. You know what I mean?
Understand.
Yeah. So now, to be fair, there is the Singapore side here. There is what they call the Singapore Games Association. They have what they call Industry Day. I MC for that show. But that itself is more of a, hey, we're here to help bridge between like the students to the industry itself, right? So they're not the same as like the massive B2C shows that you normally see with Gamescom or Thailand Game Show and all that kind of stuff. So now with Gamescom going over to Thailand, Singapore is left with this kind of weird place where the, like, what happened to ours, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious too, because aside from Gamescom in Singapore, I'm not sure how about the other game-centric event in other countries in Southeast Asia, because
Right.
to be honest, not sure. I used to remember they have like the Jakarta Game Show or Indonesian Game Show,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure they still have or no more.
So I know, I'm not too familiar with it, but I do know as of like the last few years, they had a couple. I'm not saying, I don't think they had a lot, but I know that they had a couple of game shows as well, but nothing as big in terms of like the amount of noise as opposed to like, you know, what Thailand Game Show does and what Singapore like Gamescom does.
Yeah.
Or even Level Up KL. So like the big three in this region is still, at least to me, is Gamescom, Level Up KL, and Thailand Game Show. Right? And even, no offense, once again, like maybe because I don't have a lot of Thai speakers in my circle, but like the Thailand Game Show one is only mostly because of you.
To be honest, sometimes I'm kind of curious too, that because of the like we are the Thai language centric, right?
Yeah.
So people not trying to like push that event into the international scene. So like myself, as a Tomodachi, we trying to bridge between like the Southeast Asia, like for pop culture, like
Right.
connect to you, connect to all the event.
Right.
So at least we trying to like to see how the thing does can go, because even like aside from Singapore and Malaysia, I mean Singapore and Malaysia almost technically kind of feel like if they have the event in Singapore, Malaysia go. If they have the event in Malaysia, Singapore go. So it's almost like the same area. But if you're going to like if the event happen in Indonesia, okay, you have the picture, but mostly they don't flying to each other. Then talking about Thailand, even we have the event, but it's like we still not connecting yet. Like we have event in Singapore in Gamescom, but Thai people don't know how big is how important is the Gamescom, or even like for anime thing, we know about, most of the people know about the Comic Fiesta because of Tomodachi. But it's like we never have like the exchange like perspective. Or something like that.
So that's exactly like, but that's actually kind of like what is part of the concerns that is on the table right now. And I think this is it's underneath everything that we were talking about, where there is a language barrier and then there's a cultural difference as well. Speaking from a B2B side of things, maybe it might not influence you as much, like might not be that big a thing. But speaking from a B2C perspective, it might be an issue lah.
Yes.
So this is going to be a consideration and a concern, at least for me, who's sitting in this space where I'm like, oh, which event do I want to go to? Do I want to go to X, Y, or Z? You know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. I think we've been talking about 2 hours already. Let's wrap things up a little bit. I think before we go, do you have any last thoughts, Pochi? Are you excited for Gamescom X TGS? Are you excited for them to give you a call and say, Pochi, I want you to MC for us again?
To be honest, I'm excited, but we're working long enough to see that we excited. A lot of many things to expect to see at the event, but still some of the things that we expect to happen maybe not happen. So better like let's see how they're going to announce. This is just the initial phase.
Yeah.
Because they just announced like just a few weeks before this live happened. So maybe they just signing. They not yet have like the conclusion how it's going to be. Maybe before the event they're going to change. Like they said, 2 days for business days and 3 days for B2C. Maybe it's going to be like 4 days for B2C and B2B combined together. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So let's see and let's excite together. If you came from overseas, no matter where you're from, Thailand, Bangkok, welcome you guys.
We are not sponsored by Bangkok tourism, by the way. I just want to like flag this out really quickly.
Should we put the logo on us?
Though if anybody, like, once again, like this entire show is not sponsored by anyone. The sponsorship deals are very, very much open. If you want to put like a logo or a pop-up animation somewhere here, I'm totally like, I'm willing to chill for you guys. Like,
let me send this one to my friend who working inside the comment.
Let's just
the soft power.
So,
we help you promoting. Give us something.
Man. So like for those who are looking to do Bangkok, here you have like biggest shield ever. But myself, I agree with you. Actually, I agree with you. It's speaking from someone who's done events before in the past. It's not impossible that plans might change. They might have a working outline right now, and as they try and figure out what they're going to do, and as they get more and more exhibitors in and things like that, they might make changes to things somewhere in between. I personally don't think they're going to change the schedule that much, but at the same time, this is their first year doing it. Speaking from my personal experience with Gamescom, I want to finish off on this note. Like, the difference between 2023 and 2024 was huge. Like 2023, when it came back, I felt, oh sure, whatever kind of thing. This was like, oh, if this is like, I literally went and I was like, oh, okay, this didn't feel that big a deal. Like I wasn't that impressed. I also should probably flag 2023 was a lot of Web3 related stuff. Like there were a lot of blockchain companies that were just there. And it's very difficult to impress me with blockchain related stuff. No offense.
Understand.
You know, there's just a lot of like not fantastic blockchain stuff. So there's that. Then, but 2024, there's still some blockchain stuff. Not the problem. Once again, emphasize, not the problem. But there was a lot more. Like the Thai pavilion was there. I think then there was an Indonesian pavilion, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a whole bunch of like, is it Indonesian or Philippines? I can't remember. Can't remember off the top of my head. But like they really, like there was a lot of different things to see. The talks were so much better. And the B2C, at least from my experience, especially with indie wave makers and everything, like everything, like one of the great questions I would usually do as I go through a event or if I play through a game, right? One question I always ask myself is, how would I have done this differently? How could I have improved this? You know, that kind of thing. And how easy or difficult it is to make this improvement, right? I went through Gamescom and I was like, no, I think I'm good. Like, as in, there were things that I would still do maybe differently or improve on and stuff like that. Like I mentioned how some things about your apps were not perfectly, you know, like didn't make perfect sense. These were small things that they can improve on, right? But nothing about it said, yeah, they're dropping the ball on something, you know? And I think that's the same. And if you take that into consideration and the change between what they had in 2023 and 2024, I think the team that's handling Gamescom is at least sincerely interested in giving you a good experience. You know? Now, how that works itself into the arrangement they have with TGS and what's going to be happening this year, like Pochi said, it's too early to say right now. I wanted to have this discussion to just talk about initial impressions and like at least to get a better understanding of Thailand Game Show as well. And I hope that we've managed to give you that. And I also wanted to share with him as well, like, you know, some impressions or at least Gamescom. So this is what this entire stream was about. We've obviously also delved into booth pricing and costs over what it might take for you to exhibit in the event this coming year. with a lot of asterisks involved, obviously. So for those who are curious, please look it up yourself. The links to both Gamescom and Thailand Game Show's event pages are in the description for this video as well, for this live stream as well. I did my homework. So yeah.
S.E.A.
Yep. As to whether I'll see you, Pochi, over at the event this year, we don't know yet. We will see.
Hopefully,
Oh,
please
God.
hiring me.
Oh man.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully. Okay. I
Yeah.
think with that, I think let's call it to an end tonight. It's 11:13 where I'm at. Once again, it's been 2 hours. Do you have any questions yourself? Do you have like anything you want to ask, or anything that any of your viewers want to ask? Because on my side, there's not that many people watching. But thank you for dropping by. By the way.
Not have much.
If anyone has any questions or anything else like that, please drop it in.
On my side, no question. Mostly
Okay.
they're talking trying to give more the information of each event. Then when we're talking about the translation, some of my friends inside the chat is the official translator for the games in Thailand, because some of the games also translation in Thai, Cyberpunk 2077 also translate everything in Thai. So let's see the event. If you guys come from overseas, welcome. Let me know anything. If I can help, I can help. Or else just visit me at the main stage. Hopefully, if they're hiring me again, see you on the main stage. Hope. Many hope. Everything is hoping or hoping anything. I don't know. Let's see.
Once again, too many things we don't know, too many things to ask and think about. We'll probably I don't know whether we'll do a follow-up on this one. Maybe if something else happens, we'll do a follow-up. I don't know. Pochi, before we go, when's your next stream?
Supposed to be tomorrow, free talk, something like this.
Oh, you're gonna be doing this as well?
Yes, but different topic. Because tomorrow I have the guest. He's a YouTuber, also the doctor. So we just asking them about anything that we want to know about doctor.
Fascinating.
Like the myth, something like that.
Fascinating.
The myth.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So if you want to catch Pochi's stream on that tomorrow, his YouTube is also linked in the description below. What time is it? What time in Bangkok is it?
It's supposed to be 10 p.m. Bangkok time.
Yeah, that's 11 for us, I believe.
Yes, and
Malaysia and Singapore time.
For my side too, for everyone who watching right now, I'm having the Bimji or Jared channel on the pinned comment. Please, if you want insights about behind the scene of the Southeast Asia thingy, anime thingy, the old people who still to play game and watch anime, you can follow Jared on the channel that I just posted.
I still stream games nowadays, okay? Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming Hades. I'm planning
Which game?
Tomorrow I'm doing Hades 2.
Oh, it is.
I've been streaming Hades 2 and Cassette Beast very regularly. So tomorrow I'm going to do Hades 2, because I usually do on Friday now. But because you Pochi, you are only available today, so we're doing this right now. But so tomorrow we're going to do Hades 2. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be doing Cassette Beast again. I've been doing these two games a little bit because I needed to sort of standardize. I wanted to have something that I can just stream very casually, you know? So it'll be that'll be 10 p.m. Singapore time. That will be 9 p.m. for you guys in Bangkok, for those who are interested.
Now, if anyone interested, Bimji also, Jared also doing the podcast too, so can support.
Yes.
I speak everything in English because I know that if I'm talking to Thai, they might just go there, subscribe, but never watch.
I I will appreciate it
You want?
anyway.
Okay.
Any amount of support is
ทุกคน
always appreciated. man.
let me speak to Thai ทุกคนครับนี่เพื่อนของผมเองครับชื่อคุณจาเลตครับแล้วก็ทำช่องชื่อบิมจิถ้าเกิดว่าสนใจกลัวแม่งช่างแม่งแล้วกันช่วยกดไลค์แล้วก็ไปกด Subscribe เขาหน่อยจะขอบพระคุณมากมากเพราะว่าทางนี้เพื่อนนี้เขาก็เป็นเพื่อนที่รู้จักกันมานานแล้วก็บางทีก็ทำพอดแคสต์เป็นภาษาอังกฤษด้วยเผื่อใครสนใจประมาณนี้นั่นเองนะครับโอเค I just tell them that just go to your channel to like and subscribe.
Thank you so much. And for anyone else who's watching from like my side, please do the same for Pochi. Pochi's fantastic, by the way. How long have we known each other, by the way?
I'm not wrong. 2013 is the year that Danny Shu come to Thailand on Thailand Game Show. So it's like the year before that we going to CF for the first year. It's supposed to be 2012.
So that means that we roughly would have known each other for almost one full cycle of the Chinese zodiac already.
Yes,
almost
plus 1 years. Yeah, one cycle,
we're
1 year
otakus,
plus
man.
one cycle.
We're otakus, man. Yeah.
We are otaku.
Yes. Thank you guys very much. So yeah, that's it for us for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope this is I hope everyone got to learn a little something interesting. If you guys have any comments, thoughts, corrections, especially, please leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to the channel. Every bit of show of support helps.
KK.
I'll see you guys
But
again
if you
soon.
guys come, if you're coming to Thailand Game Show, welcome.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, do me a favor. If you do show up in Thailand Game Show and like Pochi is like emceeing, right? Like, do me a huge favor. Bring out a giant manila card and go like, I saw you here on like this channel. I'd freaking love you guys if you guys do it, man. Like, right? Okay, that's it for us for tonight, man. I'll see you guys again. Have a great weekend ahead. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be back on stream as well. Hopefully you'll be here with me. Good night, guys. Atas.
Good night, ครับ Bye bye. Chip chip.